Hello and welcome back to the 4-0 Up podcast. We are continuing on with the theme of top 10s. Last week we did top 10 goalkeepers and this week we're doing top 10 fullbacks. But we did say at the end of last week's episode that we weren't going to do a top 10 of just fullbacks. We were going to kind of do top 10 or top 5 right backs, top 5 left backs, and then combine them into make one ultimate top 10. Okay? If we take a look around the room, we're all wearing some football memorabilia, so I think we should shout that out first of all, because I think the shirt selection on display today is very nice. We'll start with Joe Legs. You're wearing a lovely Brazil top.
A lovely fake Brazil top.
Match worn fake.
Match worn fake.
Genuine fake, I'd say,
yeah. I'm also wearing a fake top, Real Madrid from 2 seasons ago, 2022.
Another genuine fake.
Another genuine fake, yeah. I love it. It's really nice, yeah. We'll just stay with the Real Madrid theme and then we'll finish
another
off.
Genuinely 100% fake Real Madrid shirt. Raul on the back. I can't be asked to turn around, but it's a nice shirt. Yeah.
It's very nice. And we'll finish with...
I've got Eden Terzic on the pod today, so Eden, welcome, thank you.
We've got Mason Gale, who's come to choose violence because he's wearing a Borussia Dortmund hat, and we're recording this on the Thursday, the 27th, the day after Borussia Dortmund beat Newcastle in Champions League.
You know what? When he first put it on, I forgot that was the reference. I thought it was just...
But no, it's actually from the stadium. My dad,
did you buy it?
My dad did for me. He was lucky to go.
Not allowed abroad.
That's cool.
Well, no, basically, with the fire service, they
countries,
twin with a city near there. Yeah. And they took them all basically.
Okay,
and he bought me a nice
Respect.
hat back. So I thought it was topical as well.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
And it
like
gives a wee bit of use. I love it.
No, I do like Dortmund. Nice.
We will get on to the Champions League, Real Madrid, Dortmund, Newcastle, etc. in a little bit, but we are going to start off the episode, as we start off last week's episode, with our top 10, and in this case, top 5.
Are we going to start with right backs or left backs?
Yeah, me and you choose right backs or left backs. Which we start with?
We'll go left backs.
Okay, we'll start with left backs.
No, that's poor.
That's a wrong choice.
You always go keeper right back, centre back, left back.
It's true.
Good point. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go right back then.
Okay, right.
Don't bring
Okay,
up shite
Mason,
on me.
you can start us off with your. Just give us your 5.
Oh, okay.
What, go right backs?
Yeah, right backs.
I did this while walking here, so.
I thought you didn't check your phone.
Well, yeah, I was just doing this. I've got
okay.
6 names. I need to
If
get
you
rid
know,
of
you know.
You fibber.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. Basically, Mason
I've not
doesn't
got an
like
order
answering
either.
us.
Someone go first.
Oh my.
Thomas, you go
God.
first.
Uh,
This is amateur.
Right, fifth
Pick him
right.
off apart.
So number 5, Di Lorenzo.
Okay. Keep going.
Do you want me to say the whole top 5?
Yeah, so start from Di Lorenzo again.
No, it's okay. Di Lorenzo, Trent, Cancelo, Hakimi, Walker.
Okay. I'll go next.
Yeah.
I've gone 5th, Hakimi, 4th, Reece James, 3rd, Trent Alexander-Arnold, 2nd, Kyle Walker, 1st, João Cancelo.
Want me to go?
Joseph Legs.
Got Trent 5th, Hakimi 4th, Reece James 3rd, Cancelo 2nd, and Kyle Walker in 1st.
Okay, and Mason Gale to finish us off.
Trent, Di Lorenzo, Hakimi, Walker, Cancelo.
Okay, so you have the same top 2 as me, so
Yeah.
we also have the same top 2 in different orders.
Yes.
You haven't got Cancelo in your top 2, have you? Have you
Third.
got it? 3rd, okay.
Third.
I think we were debating beforehand about is Cancelo a right back or a left back. He's been playing right back mostly for Barcelona this season, so
Yeah.
I'm going to put him as a right back. But
Yeah, I think right.
and in a way that almost puts him top for me is the fact that he's so good in those 2 positions. And I feel if he didn't have that
Yeah.
falling out with Pep and continued at City,
Oh, he would
I
be-
think he'd be
will
outright
be,
best
yeah.
fullback in the
100%.
world. And I still think he is. I think the skill set he has is just incredible. I think on the ball, technical ability, he's just incredible.
And he was still a right back at City. It was just a way to facilitate him and Kyle Walker in the
yeah.
same side.
Yeah. No, you're right.
But it
Yeah.
made him better.
And he's played on
Yeah.
both sides for Portugal as well. He played
some of his abilities, didn't he?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Who else did we have in there? So I want to hear the
Trent, Di Lorenzo, Hakimi.
I want to hear the Di Lorenzo shout from both of you first because me and Legs don't have him in there, and
So
I
I
wouldn't
don't
come-
mind it. Go on, you go first.
I don't hate it, but I don't know if he'd be 6th or
Yeah. go on.
7th. either.
While I was
But go
looking,
on.
he was just his stats for the past 3 or 4 seasons now at Napoli have been really good.
He
He's,
won the league last year as well.
yeah, won the league last year, captains them.
yeah,
Don't think he's really put a foot wrong. quite
31,
soon.
no, isn't he? Not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
by the way,
he
but
is.
that's-
Yeah, I
he's
think
like
he is
31.
now. Yeah,
Right.
he's played at Napoli for
Oh
6
no,
years.
that's not. I was just.
No,
I just asked
yeah.
the
you
question.
didn't
Yeah.
realise he was that old.
He's gone
Yeah.
into his 6th season at Napoli this year,
Yeah.
which nobody really thought that until obviously they had a bit of a year last year and
Yeah.
Yeah, they've
Everyone
dropped
started to
off a
realise
little
it a
bit
bit
this
more.
year, but they lost.
yeah,
their
that, I think that was
manager and they lost-
expected.
Yeah, lost a couple
Yeah,
of
it was
things, yeah.
expected, but yeah, I just thought right back. I don't know. Fullbacks is probably the toughest one we'll
It
do.
is, yeah,
It
it
is
is.
really
Especially
tough,
if you're
so.
picking a position, it's a little bit like when we were picking goalkeepers. Like, there's a couple of elite ones, and then the rest. There's a big
Yeah,
bracket
big
of
skill
good.
ability, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I was thinking about it with Trent as well. It's like as much as he is a right back,
He's not.
is probably not his best position.
Yeah, because he's basically
Yeah.
the in possession, out of possession thing.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's really tough one. Ain't it?
I guess like John Stones
Yeah.
could realistically be in the top 10 of 3 of these positions: right
Yeah,
back,
that's
centre back,
the thing,
defensive
isn't it?
midfield. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it is weird. I think you, especially depending on the team you play for, positions really don't exist. Especially like further up the pitch. I think if you're a striker, you're a striker. But if you're a defender, you can play anywhere really. Especially if you're a fullback.
Especially nowadays, like maybe
Yeah.
5 years ago that wasn't really the case.
Yeah.
You're a right back, you're a right back, but now you kind of
Well,
expect to
like,
play
yeah,
with
only
centre
Gary
mids,
Neville,
right
yeah.
wing,
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
mid.
Gary Neville almost
Literal right backs.
Yeah, but he was one of the first to overlap, which
Yeah.
kind of shows you the evolution of football.
Yeah.
And how
Well,
late
him,
it was,
him, and
really.
Trent kind of and Cancelo really all revolutionised the
in
position
their own way. Yeah. Kyle Walker's still in there at his age. I think
He's
rightfully
defo.
so.
Yeah,
He's
I think
still
he is the
absolutely
best.
phenomenal.
I think I
Wonderful.
don't hate the Cancelo shout, but I think taking into consideration the treble last year, how consistent he's been
Yeah.
since he joined them. However, when did he join? Like 2017,
2016.
something like that.
Yeah, it was
Every year
middle
he's
of Poch
been
era,
up
wasn't it?
there as like top 3 right backs in the league. He's been brilliant.
No, he is absolutely fantastic. He's
Mhm.
the full package as well. 1v1 defensively, he's up there with the best in the world. Speed.
Yeah.
I still think he's the quickest footballer I've ever seen.
is.
I think in 100 meters, there's no one that beats him. In a 60 meters, I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
yeah,
it's
obviously,
Across
yeah.
60 Mbappe probably beats him, but across all
100,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
Mbappe's
yeah.
the fastest I've seen, but he's not.
Haaland will be
close.
up there for 100 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a freak.
But, Trent and Reece James, what are we saying about those? You didn't have Reece
I
James.
didn't have
in your
Reece
top
James.
5?
No,
I've not put him in there either. I think it is just a.
Oh, so you didn't put in Reece James to put in
No.
Joy or to put in
Pretty
Di
much,
Lorenzo? Okay,
Well,
why?
I think it's. It might just be a thing where we've not seen Reece James play a lot of football in the past.
I think we've seen him play
Yeah,
enough.
We've
though.
seen him play
Yeah,
more
we've
than
seen him
enough.
play
I think,
enough,
though,
but-
more than enough.
I don't know.
Yeah.
More than enough, yeah.
I don't know. It was just.
I think that season when Chelsea won the Champions League, like we've seen more than enough of Reece James. I think if Reece James had played consistently and played the same amount of minutes as Trent, Reece James would be top 3 100%. We
Yeah,
could be
agree.
talking about Reece James
but
being
yeah,
one of the best.
obviously you can
Agree.
say that, but he
100%.
hasn't. So it's like you can't say it really.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Like I don't disagree with what you're saying. Like especially with like
I'll get your point
availability
as
is
well.
the best
I'll get your point
ability.
as well.
Yeah.
But I still think Reece James. I still think injuries regardless. I think he's
It's also-
definitely
it's a
better
toss-up
fullback than
between-
Di Lorenzo. I think he's a better right back. than
He
Di
might be,
Lorenzo.
but I think Di Lorenzo deserves to be in that top 5 more than he
Just
is.
'cause of the
Just
consistency.
because he's played
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's
I-
been
he
there.
can't
He
disagree
played
massively, but-
37 league games last season
Yeah.
and averaged a 7.8
Like,
rating.
I'm not saying Reece James isn't one of the best
Yeah,
right backs in the world.
yeah,
He-
obviously.
obviously, if he had a full season at Chelsea, he'd be top 3, top
Yeah.
4 easily.
And I think
But-
that's one thing. Like when Reece James played last year for Chelsea, when they were like had that horrific season, Reece James was miles their best player. I remember
Yeah.
when,
Oh, yeah.
when we beat Chelsea, was it 4-0 last year at Old Trafford? Reece James was the best player on the pitch, and his team lost 4-0. That's how
Yeah.
good he was. I think he's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I think if he had that consistently, he probably would be the best right back in the world.
Yeah.
It's just that thing of he just doesn't have it
He
yet.
doesn't have it yet.
He's the,
but
if you're,
I think it'll come. It's
Yeah.
guaranteed to come.
if you're an
hopefully.
England fan, you're desperate for him to be fit because he's the perfect replacement for Walker when he goes.
Yep, agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think he's the full skill set. He's strong. He's very good defensively. He's incredible going forward. Yeah, he's just brilliant. I think he's
Yeah.
certainly similar to Walker, but no, it's not a bad top 5. Hakimi get in there as well, which I'm glad we can all agree on. He's excellent.
Of course he is. I think
Fantastic.
he went through a phase of being underrated, then overrated, but I think he's kind of like balanced
about
out now
it.
to
Yeah.
where he is.
Yeah.
Because like the World Cup, he was brilliant.
For Morocco, yeah.
Yeah, but
We
then
saw
he-
a lot more of his defensive side. As
exactly
well
like
during the
everyone
World
just
Cup.
thought he was just a bit like what everyone thought Walker was, just overlapping, getting up the pitch. But his one-on-one
An attacking
defending is brilliant.
fullback, yeah.
He's really, really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
definitely second for me.
He's second for you?
Yep.
Okay, so we'll move on to left backs, and this one.
So
Oh,
hard.
it was tough.
this
None of them
one's tough.
deserve to be first, in my opinion. None of them. It took
Yeah,
so long.
like that's not saying they're bad left backs. It's just, it's almost like they're not doing enough. Like there's a couple of things holding
There
them
isn't a
back.
clear number one, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'll get Joe Legs to start with his top 5 first of all.
So 5th, Shaw. 4th, Ake. Contentious whether he's a left back or not. I think he is.
We've
In
all
line.
agreed that he's a left back.
Yeah.
Just, we've
For
all
thi- for
agreed
this
that he
argument
is.
left,
Yeah,
yeah.
we've all agreed.
Zinchenko 3rd, Alphonso Davies 2nd, and Teo Hernandez in 1st.
Okay.
I've gone Teo Hernandez in 5th. I've got Zinchenko in
Wow.
4th, Ake in 3rd, Luke Shaw in 2nd, and Alphonso Davies in 1st.
Wow.
Mason?
I've got Shaw, Ake.
I can't do this, man.
Timothy Kist.
Shaw,
James
Ake,
Justin,
Zinchenko.
Luke Thomas.
It was
Rich
close.
Goliath.
He's a right back.
I know, mate.
Alphonso Davies, Theo Hernandez. There we go.
I've gone for my boy Udogi. Love him. He's
Yeah,
absolutely quality.
nice.
In
Udogi.
5, Ake 4, Shaw 3, Davies 2, Theo Hernandez 1.
Okay. we've got quite a mix up here because I put Theo Hernandez 5th, and you've got
Yeah, when you said that-
too high.
No,
Where'd you
I
put
don't
Shaw?
know. Second.
Oh,
I think he's better than Zinchenko. Yeah, I'd have him better than Zinchenko.
yeah, but Zinchenko's not even in my top 5.
Is he not? Oh, you had a
No.
doggy. Sorry, that's right. I think Theo Hernandez for me, he's a good fullback, but like every time I've watched AC Milan, I've always thought he's looked a little bit questionable. In the World Cup, I think he's quite an overrated World Cup as well. I'm not saying he was bad in the World
Because
Cup.
he played a totally different position for France, what he does for AC.
Yeah.
He practically plays as a winger for AC. He was a proper left back for
Yeah.
France.
I don't know. I guess when I've watched him, I haven't been incredibly impressed to say he's the best left back in the world.
But I couldn't.
But at the same time, maybe I've got Shaw way too high, but it's a difficult list to put through.
I
I've
think
got
Shaw has to be 4.
I think when I've watched him, I think
I put him 3rd to be fair, but that's because I got a Dogie in and I couldn't put him higher than Shaw.
Yeah.
I agree. I think Shaw in the
I,
last 2
I agree. I
years
think
as
Shaw
well.
is one of the most complete fullbacks.
Yeah, I think
in the
I
game,
think he
but-
goes quite underrated for Manchester United. He's so important for Manchester United
Yeah.
inside the final third and in the first.
And the
phase.
redemption arc he had as well, because under Mourinho it looked like it was never going to work.
Yeah.
And then,
Lost about 5 stones, didn't he?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then it just
we're
became-
trying to loan him out every single season.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, but I still think for me, I still think he's one of the. I think he's maybe the best in the Premier League at the minute. Luke Shaw.
Yeah,
Now,
but I
at
don't
the
want
minute, maybe not, but I think as a left back in the Premier League. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Dogie at the moment.
Dogie maybe at the minute, yeah, you would have like if you're going on current form of the 23-24
Yeah.
season.
I think if we did this in 6 weeks, Adogi would be in everyone's.
Yeah, maybe.
Or
Yeah.
maybe in the new year, if we did it, Adogi would be in everyone's.
Yeah, or maybe towards the end of the season. No, 100%.
He's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think-
no,
yeah,
no,
the
New
first-
Year, New Year, yeah. No,
the
New
first
Year.
couple of weeks he played, he looked shaky.
He was getting used to
And
the
yeah,
plan,
he was
wasn't
getting used
I
to it.
would
And
say
he
like
looked
just the first game week. I think by the time
All
he
of
played,
them, like
by the time they
Vicario was a
played,
bit
by the
like
time
that.
Spurs played,
Vicari's
he was
kicked
excellent.
on
Yeah,
really.
Oh,
I
yeah,
like
he's
Vicaro
been
a lot.
really
Yeah, he
good.
was still excellent. He just had that recklessness in him, but somebody's
19,
said something.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
someone
it's-
said something
get
to him.
there,
You can
yeah.
tell, and it's working now.
Yeah, and I think I
Gotta
watched
adjust.
the doggy when he played for Udinese, and I was saying this like on the BT Sport, the Serie A
Yeah.
goal show. And I remember watching him for Udinese when he was like 18, because I remember Spurs signed him because I know some Spurs fans, so I remember hearing his name. I went, "Oh, this doggy looks really good." I remember following him the whole way through. He had a brilliant season last year with Udinese,
Yeah.
and I said beforehand, I made a video. I was like, "Oh, like look out for a doggy this season. He's going to be excellent," and he has been so good. And one thing I worried about was him as an inverted fullback because wasn't something he'd done before because he was an attacking, overlapping fullback to Udinese, but he has fulfilled the role
So
so,
big time.
well.
He's ridiculously agile as well.
Oh,
So
yeah,
agile, so
ridiculous.
press
He's
resistant,
He's
so
not even
comfortable
small
on the
either,
ball.
is he? He's
No.
quite big.
He's
He's
built.
strong.
Yeah.
He's
He's a big lad, yeah.
And he's kind of
Yeah.
his height plays into his advantage a little
Does
bit. Like
use
he
it.
shields the ball
Yeah.
really well. He's difficult
He
to
gets across players
dispossess.
really well, I feel, when
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
cuts inside.
Another one that I
He's
think,
nippy.
Yeah.
going back to the right backs, I think one that could potentially sneak in, maybe not in the near future, but at some point,
Porro.
Pedro Porro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
when he
Again, another one,
first
he
joined
was in the field.
Spurs,
At
he was
Sporting
bad,
Lisbon
though,
as well,
but-
he was excellent too.
Yeah.
But he had a shaky start, but he was playing in a horrible Spurs team.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't say no player could have looked good bar Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He inverts so well, Porro.
Oh, he's so
He
good.
suits it so well. I love that Spurs system. by
On
the way.
Monday night when we was watching it, he was just
Boy, can he strike a ball.
Oh, yeah.
Monday night. The only time you see him on the ball was in their box.
Yeah.
And I think the commentators even said something like, "He's the right back, we promise, but he's
This-
always there, and
well,
it's
this is the
so
thing with
good for
positions,
that
isn't
system."
it?
Yeah.
Positions don't really exist.
No.
We have this conversation a
It's,
lot.
yeah, it's a weird when you say like
Yeah.
positions don't exist. You're like,
Especially
are you an idiot? But when you
fullbacks,
think about
It's
it,
roles.
Yeah,
Fullbacks
it's
in the
weird.
current game are probably the ones that are
They-
most not
they
there
don't have
as
a
well.
position
They
yet.
don't
Every
have a
So
fullback's
weird,
got
isn't
a
it?
position.
It's,
So
it's,
strange,
it's
but-
possession dependent, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
100%.
you can't fix them into one position. You can't
No.
tie them down.
It's
sort of
usually
thing.
the spine of your team should stay the same: centre back, defence, midfielder,
Even
and your
defensive midfield
striker.
changes though, because
Yeah,
drop
true.
into a free at the back.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. You drop in as a
Stuff.
centre half
Yeah.
during build up. That's true. Yeah.
yeah,
Sort of what Spurs do, but even they don't even do that. Spurs in possession are like a
2-3-5.
2-3-5.
Yeah, and it'll be
Sarr sits in with them.
Sarr sits in Basuma. Or no, it'll
well,
be
the
Basuma in the
interchange.
3, or it'll be a
Yeah.
3-2-5 or a 2-3-5
Yeah,
with Basuma as that link. He's the kind of the cog. that
Even
holds it all
Sarr have been
together.
really good as well. I'm off topic, but even Sarr have been really good.
just
Yeah.
on the Spurs segment. Just
And
how
I think,
good they
I
are.
think when
Oh,
Bentancur comes back, wow, that
Yeah,
midfield. Basuma,
I think-
Bentancur, Madison's one of the best midfields in the league.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
Madison,
obviously
don't be starting on
there
Madison.
will be an expected drop off. I think if you look at who they've played at the start
They've
of
got
the
a tough
season,
run coming up. Yeah,
they've
they'll
played
they'll face
the
defeats.
whole
Beat
bottom
Liverpool.
four.
Beat Liverpool.
Yeah, I know they have, and I'm not
But
saying
everything
that's
went their
not.
way that day, didn't it? Really?
They've played the whole bottom four. They've
I'm
only
not sure they
played
would've won it if
two
they were
out
lucky
the
in the
top.
Northern Derby.
They've
Yeah.
played one out of the top 6, 2 out of the top 8, and they've played the whole bottom four. So I think
They played 3 of the top 6 because they played Liverpool, us, and
Yeah.
But
Arsenal.
the thing is,
So-
even though they have played these poorer teams, they've looked very impressive.
Oh, yeah, they
against
have.
them.
I'm
Like,
not-
it's
I'm
not
not
like
Even
denying
when they
that.
played the
great-
bigger
Yeah.
teams, they've had good games.
yeah, I know. I'm not
They should
denying
come
it.
out with more points than they did against some of the
Arsenal.
Arsenal. Specifically.
Arsenal, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
they conceded a penalty, which was contentious. Not saying it wasn't. Not saying it was.
Yeah.
And
Was that the one where it was going in and it's his hand?
But overall,
Oh,
on
that's a
play,
penalty.
I think they.
We're not
they
gonna
have
get-
more
But the
than
way
that.
you described that, yeah, it is a penalty.
Yeah.
But
It's a Chloe Suarez in the 2010 World Cup. What a moment, by the way, off topic. But
What a moment.
Yeah, let's get back to it. Left backs.
yeah.
Who else?
No,
is in?
none of us have got any random shouts bar a doggy, which I have no issues with. Which meant Zinchenko didn't get in.
Yeah.
Has Zinchenko become a little bit overrated in recent?
He hasn't really
No, I
played
don't
this
think he's come
season, has he?
overrated. I think people have just realised he's just good. You know, he's
Yeah.
He's just a good fullback.
He's just good, yeah.
He was
Yeah.
riding a huge, not riding a wave, because I feel when someone says riding a wave, it sounds a little bit like purple patch. But he was really good in an Arsenal system that were ticking last
well,
year.
and I think riding a wave also that includes the fact that he's just got a big move. And
Yeah.
He was underappreciated.
I will
now
also
he's the
say,
man.
because Tommy Asu started, I think he started the past 2 or 3 games at left back.
Yeah.
They look,
They're playing Timber at
considerably-
left back over him as well.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
with Zinchenko on the team, they're miles better because he's just.
I'm looking at this now. Maybe
Transition so
Teo
well.
Hernandez should be above Zinchenko, for example. But
I think
don't
he
know.
should. I think
Yeah.
Taylor is better for Zinchenko.
Yeah, I agree.
I
Ake-
thought Teo was a comfortable one for this position.
same.
He's
Yeah.
the first one that came to my mind. To be
I think
fair.
when we watched him, I watched the AC Milan Newcastle game.
the worst game of all time, yeah.
Yeah, it was a bad game, but
Yeah,
he
it was.
was the way when he plays as well. He doesn't. He just looks like he's doing it comfortably.
Mm.
He
I
just
think-
strides and
yeah.
he's gone. He's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of ball carrying.
And the thing is, like, you think when he
And
goes
he
up,
can
he'll leave a
defend,
hole.
so-
He's up there as well.
Yeah,
Bulgaria.
you think when he goes up, he'll leave a hole, but then he tracks back so well that he's got
Yeah.
everything to his
Yeah.
game. I think that's underrated.
That's what I was saying about his performances for France. For AC, the team's geared around him. You know,
Yeah,
he's
he's-
got cover. If he
yeah.
goes,
Yeah,
he's
that's
got
true,
cover, so
yeah.
he can afford to. With
They've
France,
got
you don't
two
get
of
that
probably
sort
the
of
quickest centre backs you'll see
Yeah,
in European
Kalulu and
football,
Tomori and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Thiaw.
Thiaw.
Yeah,
It suits him
yeah.
to a T, doesn't it?
he's
So-
red card
Yeah.
today, by the way.
Hmm?
You see Thiaw's red card against
Yeah,
Juventus.
you see Tomori getting his ankles broke last night by Mbappe.
Yeah.
yeah, they don't have a very good game.
Can't believe we beat
Yeah,
them.
vintage Kylian Mbappe finish. But no, we'll go on to a top 10 because we have to do it. But my top 10 is extremely easy because
don't
my
have
top
to.
10 is
The
1 to
five
5 are all right backs in the order of I
Yeah.
ranked them as fullbacks or right backs, and my 6 to 10 are all the left
that the
backs
same for
in
all
order.
of us?
Yeah.
However, I got rid of Zinchenko because I've now swapped him with Teo Hernandez, and I've put Kieran Trippier in there. But I'm happy to leave it and Kieran Trippier in there.
Yeah, mine's left. Mine is just left as
Yeah,
well.
Mine's
mine's
5,
1
1 to 5
6
right.
6 to 10, yeah.
Six
How
to
I've
10
just said
left,
it,
yeah.
just clip it to me together and me saying my top 5 right backs. Top 5
Yeah.
right backs, that's my top 10.
Yeah. But no, I think someone like Kieran Trippier deserves a mention.
He's a very good,
He's a good fullback.
yeah, on both sides. Like we were saying earlier, like he does play a left back, not for
Yeah.
club, but definitely for country quite a lot. I sing his praise all the time. I think he's absolutely brilliant. He's taken another step this year, which I didn't think was possible, but he's even better than he was. He's got like 7 assists already this season. Yeah, I think it's a good shout, but I didn't put him in because I didn't want to come across as biased. So
I was sure I was second of mine, so you're not
yeah,
going to
good
come
point.
surprised.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
Ashley Young almost got in there. He didn't get sent off in the
He
door.
should
but-
be in there. He should be in there.
Yeah, well, that will swiftly move us on from our top 10 to our weekly roundup. We've actually got a lot to talk about this week because we've got the Premier
right.
League at the weekend to cover, the Merseyside Derby, a London Derby, and some of the Champions League heroics and some drama in it. So we are actually going to start off with the 12:30 Saturday afternoon kickoff between Everton and Liverpool. There's a lot to talk about
Didn't
here.
watch it.
There was a red card, there was a
Didn't
potential
watch it.
red card, there was a penalty, there was everything.
We'll just sit
You
here.
didn't watch it.
I have to preface this by saying I didn't watch the game.
Neither.
I was watching Town.
Did you watch it, Keg?
Not all of it, no.
What a podcast!
So while we're
Moving on,
talking about it-
Chelsea versus Arsenal. I was busy
There's
this
nothing to
weekend.
say apart from the very blatancy of the officials owing Liverpool. So
Oh, that Canate decision.
didn't
Is
get
the
Oh.
Canate one is it the second one you think is the yellow card, the one where he trips him?
No, both yellow cards.
You think
He
so?
should've-
I
he should've
think
been
so.
sent off.
Yeah, you should have had 2
Yeah.
yellow cards.
I think they're both yellow cards in separate moments, so they have to accumulate. To
That
make a
was,
red.
and I'm not just saying this to be biased. I'm not
That's the
saying
whole
this with any
point,
sort of
yeah.
preface as an Everton fan. The officials owe Liverpool, so
But they got that because they got a
so
penalty against
Everton are paying
Brighton.
the debts for it.
That was a
basically.
penalty.
No,
No, they'll be forever in
Yeah,
debt to
probably.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
They'll never let it go.
I think the one thing, and I'm not coming to anyone's defence here when I say this, but I think with that Canate, the second yellow, I think it's one of those ones where like it's almost like they've seen it, they've viewed it, they must have viewed it as too soft to send him off. But
not
like
too
if
soft,
they're
though.
two,
But
different
that's the
incidents-
issue
but if
we've
they're two
got.
if they're 2 different incidents in 2 different games, they're both
If
yellows.
you watched it back and looked at his
no,
legs
I
instead
think
of
it was
his
a red card.
hands.
I'm not saying it wasn't. I just think
That's the
I'm
issue we've
thinking
got.
of what they thought.
Sorry, people that think it wasn't a second yellow
Oh, no, it
aren't
was.
looking at the legs, they're looking at the arms. Because he barely touched him with his arm, but his legs
His legs
absolutely...
It's,
Yeah.
it's knee to knee, isn't
The
it?
issue we've
into
got
Beto,
with
yeah, that's
the
what he's
modern
done
game
now.
and the use of social media, everyone's like, that was a bit soft to be sent off. Well, no, that's the whole point of 2 yellow cards.
Yeah, yeah,
not
that's
soft,
what
though.
I'm saying.
It's
but
yellow.
It was
I'm
Kovacic.
thinking-
tactically
Kovacic,
he's
City
through.
versus Arsenal. Kovacic had to go.
Yeah.
Oh, of course
yeah,
he did.
but
Jesus.
but
It was
the
2
first
yellow
one could
card
be a red.
tackles.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The first one's
That's
orange.
Everton.
The second one has to be
Beto-
light
Beto-
and it goes off.
Beto is one of the quickest footballers I've ever seen. Deceptively, he's massive. He's through on goal there. He
Yeah.
gets towards a goal.
Yeah, it's in a breakaway, isn't it? Yeah.
He's just... There's no one behind Canate. I'm not saying it's a red, but it's definitely a yellow.
Yeah, they need to start taking into account the play that is being taken down. I don't think they do that enough. Like, Beto there would have made it to
Well,
goal.
if it's Giroud on the end of that,
Yeah.
it's a foul, but it's not. You've got to think.
Yeah.
Beto is
If someone like
through towards the
Mbappe,
goal.
who's really
scorer
quick.
opportunity.
Beto ends up shooting.
Yeah.
There, do you know what I mean? He gets shot, so it's a yellow card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'd
I
have
agree.
lost anyway. I'm not saying that. It's,
No, yeah.
it's
Well, yeah,
not
but no, it was
ruined the
only
game.
1-0 at that time.
2-0.
Was it?
Oh, it was
But
1-0 at the
we had
time,
also had a
yeah.
man sent off.
Yeah, after
Yeah,
30
but-
minutes.
But then, on the same
You don't
instance,
know.
Simicast made 4 fouls and got 0 bookings. Young made 2 and got 2 bookings. So you
Is
make,
that actually?
make your own mind up with that. But
He only
that
made
is
2
what happened.
fouls. and
You'd
got 2
Simicast
goals.
the fancy team, though, so you needed him to.
Oh yeah,
true.
fair enough. Yeah, got me good queen now, but
7, wasn't it? with
you know,
Cheng?
one more for one team, another one for a different team.
Yeah.
So that's where I want to end on it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. There's nothing else to say. I didn't watch it.
Yeah. London Derby.
Mm-hmm.
As a Manchester United fan, it was so nice to see other goalkeepers making mistakes. Woo!
I was on the radio, so I haven't actually seen the highlights.
I was
And the
very happy
goalkeepers were the
with
talking
my
point. Both of them
decision
had
to leave Raya out my top 10. And then he's had
calamities.
that,
I've seen the
so-
Sanchez one, which just passes it to Rice.
Yeah.
Well,
Good.
Raya gets away with one. Chelsea to win that
Yeah,
3-2.
yeah.
I can't believe how Raya gets
Chelsea
away.
deserves to win that game.
100%. They were perfect for 70
Chelsea are
minutes.
really good
They were
now. They're
perfect.
getting there.
They were
Cole
excellent
Palmer.
for 70 minutes. I was watching it on my phone because I was busy the whole weekend. I was at something.
Do you see the structure they played? They played 4-4-2 with 2 attacking midfielders.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't start a striker, did they?
No. It
And it
worked.
worked.
Though.
Yeah,
It worked.
Yeah.
Mudryk looked really good. I
Did
told
he
you
mean
he'd
it?
explode. I
We
told
knew
you
he'd
he'd
get
explode.
there,
yeah. Did he mean it?
We all said it. We all said he
didn't mean it.
exploded.
No, he
Don't
didn't
matter.
mean it.
He had a good
He
game
came
regardless.
out and said
No, of
the
course he didn't
goalkeep-
mean it. No, of course he
He
didn't.
came out and said the goalkeeping coach said Raya comes out to claim crosses early, so just shoot.
To be fair, a bit of a language barrier. I think that could also imply get the ball in the air.
That's what I
Put
thought.
it
to
on the
back post.
keeper, maybe.
Yeah, to the
Yeah.
back
He might
post,
mean
yeah.
put it on
Put it
the
over
keeper
it, put
as
some
well.
pressure, yeah.
Yeah. But he's just Rice just came out.
No,
of
because he
the way.
looks into the box before he shoots. It's not like it's a no
And the way he hits
cross.
it as
Yeah,
well.
no,
he
no,
didn't
it
mean
is.
Of course he didn't mean
There's
it.
no debate here about it being a cross.
Of course, it
Yeah.
don't matter. He had a good game.
Um,
So anyway,
To be fair, Declan Rice got a good goal, even though it was an empty net. Take
Great
that
finish.
first time
Great
into the
finish.
side
Great
net
finish,
was
yeah.
an
Yeah.
excellent
Side net.
finish. And how good is he,
Fair
by the way?
So good.
Rice,
Yeah.
he's absolutely
Who's better, Rice
fantastic.
or Enzo? I was having this conversation with someone the other day.
it's difficult to compare.
It's very difficult. I think they're both
Yeah, but
quite
who would-
difficult. I'd Rice.
Who would I
I'd
rather have
on
at
my team.
Rice?
I'd rather
Rice.
I'd rather have
Enzo's
Rice.
better.
I think Enzo's a better footballer.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what the
Rice
debate
is a
was.
better.
Enzo's a
Oh,
better
better
I think
footballer,
profiles what's
Enzo.
brilliant. Enzo's he's like a luxury player. He's a controller. But he can also do the hard stuff
I
as
just
well.
saw one of them classic
But he's-
terrible Twitter accounts going,
so-
I told you all that Rice is better than Enzo.
Oh,
Way
no.
better.
It's definitely close. 100%
Enzo's
close.
better.
I
Enzo-
would rather
football
have
Enzo.
Rice because the
Same.
cover of the 6 and the 8 and like what he brings to a team, and I think he's evolved so much. I'd rather have Rice, but
technically speaking, though.
yeah, technically
I think-
Enzo, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
But I think
Enzo's
I
a
think
little
Rice
bit
brings
more-
I think Rice brings more to the table.
I think
as well.
Enzo's a little bit more of a luxury player than Rice
Yeah,
is.
more
You need
far
Rice
more of a
more than
controller,
Enzo.
technically better than
Yeah.
Rice, but that doesn't mean Rice is.
And again, this is all
technically.
technically.
Yeah, well,
So
Enzo,
Enzo's
I'd
better,
have
yeah.
Enzo, but I think Rice. If I was picking a player, I'd have Rice.
Same.
But no, Chelsea were excellent and there were good signs there.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you've got to think you threw away a 2-0 lead after being so good for so
Yeah, you
long
can't
to
celebrate
an
that.
Arsenal team that once again didn't look good. I'm sorry, could be seen as unpopular. I'm yet to see Arsenal look good.
I saw someone say that on Twitter. They got cooked for it, but I agreed with him.
I'm yet to see
I haven't
Arsenal
seen
look
a performance this year where I've gone,
Nope.
wow, yeah, they're going to be title contenders
Against
again.
City, the whole game was flat. Neither team looked very good,
That's
and it was more of a
back
chess.
to the
on it,
chest.
City the
Yeah,
week before,
they
no.
were trying to work
City
it
were
out.
far
It
from
was
it.
way too
Spurs-
tactical, that one.
Spurs was a little bit like the Chelsea game where they were fortunate to come away with something. And once again, they didn't play very well. I thought Spurs dominated them for a large majority of the half. Yes, Arsenal missed some chances, but so did Spurs.
Yep.
And once again, against Chelsea, were dominated for 70 minutes by a really poor Chelsea. Not a really poor Chelsea side, but a Chelsea side that are going through a transition.
Yeah.
I'm yet to see them, especially in the big games, I'm yet to see them look good.
And the Champions League, they haven't
Even in the
looked-
Champions League, they
I don't
lost to
fancy
The first
Lens.
game, the first game they looked all right.
Yeah,
but
lost to
then
Lons.
Lons, and then against Sevilla they nearly bottled it again. Well, I don't think they nearly bottled it, but they're conceding cheap goals all the time. So yeah, they're not. I think they will come good. I think it's just
Yeah.
this season haven't been
I think
there.
it's probably between Spurs and maybe City that I've looked at. I'd say Spurs have been definitely the best team this season.
Yeah, I think Liverpool will
I've
be up
looked the
there.
best. Anyways.
Thereabouts as
Liverpool
well.
have looked really good. Yeah, City are looking good, but not looking as good
Especially
as City.
with their guaranteed pen a game now.
Who?
Liverpool,
Yeah.
pen a game or red card against them or no red
Yeah,
card
I
for
can
them.
decide on that.
Yeah, City haven't looked up to their best, but it's weird. Kovacic and Nunes seem so similar to each other.
Nunez is a weird one. I was at the pub last night.
They're
and
so
there
ball
was-
carry heavy.
Yeah, there's City young
That's
boys
what
on
they're
one
going
screen and Newcastle Dortmund on the other. Whenever I looked up, Nunes was just giving away the ball and just being in.
Doesn't
like,
release it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
He'll
a
learn
good
now.
sign.
He will
yeah,
learn, yeah.
It'll come good, but I think starting him and Kovacic isn't.
I thought
what they
that
should
too.
do.
Yeah, I thought that too.
But I think that might just been rotation.
But
just
yeah,
starting-
they're trying something new. It was against young boys in Champions League. You can try something new.
Yeah.
Totally.
Rico
No, but
Lewis,
it-
by the way, he'll be in that top 5 right back.
Jerry Doku, by the way, absolutely ridiculous.
Love him.
It's mental, ain't it?
He's so fun to watch. position.
He's like maximum.
Every time he gets the ball, I'm taking you on. Do you know what I mean? Every time we get,
And
every
he's
time
gonna
I
win
He
it
get-
beat
most of the time.
7 dribbles.
Large majority of the time, I'm gonna beat you.
He
Yeah.
put 7 dribbles last night.
I think he's the best 1v1 dribbler in the
you
world.
need to take on machine.
Because I remember seeing a little bit of Jeremy Doku at Rennes, and he
Yeah.
was excellent there as well.
electric. I can't
Yeah.
believe no one else.
I think it's because of his own product that people didn't really. Because he was a little bit like
Yeah, well,
inconsistent.
he's
But no, yeah, I
he's 20,
agree.
wasn't he?
I agree.
the
But that's
thing,
why they
innit?
didn't go
Yeah.
for him.
But
But Pep was like, well, I had Sterling a few years ago. We had that same issue, and I made him into
Yeah,
a world
essentially,
beater.
yeah.
It happened the same with Doku.
I would have been really intrigued to see how a matchup this Sunday between Wan-Bissaka and Doku would have gone, but it's not going to happen. It's going to be Doku versus
And he's gonna-
Dalot.
Is that this weekend?
Sunday there.
Yeah, half
Sunday.
3 kickoff.
Manchester
Sunday.
Derby, yeah, half 3 kickoff.
Reece is off to it.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't get a ticket.
Why is it 3:30?
Oh, I don't like watching
Police
that with
and trams and
Yeah, it's
trains
police.
and
Yeah.
whatever.
Police.
Even though it's in the
Um,
same city, they're just based all around that.
No, well, speaking of
Walk
going to
it.
games,
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to go to a game the other night and see an unbelievable moment. I was at the Man United Copenhagen game. We will get onto the game itself in a minute, but I got to see a Harry Maguire goal and an Onana penalty save. And oh man, does he need that?
Collector's item,
Man,
that.
do I need that? Because I've done my fair share of defending Onana, and
You have done
he's
your fair share.
he's repaid me at
against the
last.
wall just like-
He's repaid me at last. Oh, it was incredible. Literally the last kick of the game, 96th minute, after a quite harsh high foot penalty. I don't know if I've ever seen a penalty being given for a high foot before. It doesn't touch him at
I'm
all.
playing
Seen
clubs,
it.
mate. Did
Doesn't,
say it.
doesn't touch him at all. But anyway, it doesn't matter because Onana saves it. I'm not here to yap about decisions. Maguire got
If
a
he's
good
not
goal.
touched him, surely that should be an indirect free kick.
I know. It was weird. He
I've
doesn't
seen
touch
an
him. though.
indirect. free kick
If
ever
you
given.
if you get given a foul for a high foot
They don't touch
anywhere
it.
else on the pitch and they've not made contact,
It's an
it's an indirect free kick.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh wow.
That's great.
I learn
Yeah.
something new every day.
Yeah, but
What I want over there.
Qualified.
good man. It doesn't matter because Onana makes a good save. You made a good point of it being like it's a good save, but also a bad penalty.
The stop. Why would you
Could
do
be
a
both.
stop penalty?
Yeah,
In
but yeah,
the
you can. It
97th
can still be
minute.
a good save and a poor penalty.
One's not can't not be true.
Yeah, one can cancel out the
It's
other.
a good.
yeah.
It's a very strong hand, and it's
Yeah.
a good save.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like doing a
Pressure
stop
penalty
penalty,
as
his
well.
keeper's perfect height.
Yeah.
He's given it. To
Oh,
him,
yeah, that-
kind of, but it's also
You can't really say why has he put his penalty there. That bloke's that's probably the biggest penalty he might ever take in his career.
And he's done a stop penalty.
Well,
Just
he's
run
a-
up to him and
yeah,
smack
but-
it.
But that's what
That's
he
what
does,
pressure
that's
does
his
to you.
thing, innit?
That's
I
what
don't
pressure
get
does
it.
to you.
I just-
You're
Yeah.
in the 97th minute at Old Trafford.
I know, but if that's me, I'm just
Yeah.
running up to the ball, getting it over and done with. I'm not stopping and.
That's probably what he's tried to do. And
But
it's
you
just
have a
gone there.
consistent penalty. If you have a consistent penalty
Yeah.
routine, you keep it
That's what I
consistent.
mean,
You don't
yeah.
change anything. up,
Jorginho
yeah.
does-
It's actual
Jordan
penalty
himself
taker.
smashing it.
Oh god.
Yeah, but Bruno's maybe the only football player I've seen vary at his run up to penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
he
catch
forgets
pick
it.
up
That's why. He's like, oh.
He wasn't very good the other night though. But one man that was a man that came on at half time, Christian Eriksen, absolute game changer. Oh man, do I wish he was younger, stronger, and fitter because he'd start every game.
And better passer.
No, his on the ball abilities are still
No,
there
I
'cause he
agree.
is fantastic. The assist for the Maguire goal was excellent. He just added, like he did it at the weekend against Sheffield United, he added so much control and creativity, and he was just in the middle of everything, and he was brilliant. I don't think we should have taken off Amrabat. I think we should have taken off McTominay at the time, but it didn't really matter in the end. But we looked really bad again in the first half. It was terrible. The referee blew it up 30 seconds early.
I saw.
He couldn't be bothered watching it anymore.
I did see that as
I
well.
couldn't be. I was sitting there live. I yawned a couple of times. It was so
Ooh.
bad. Our build-up structures all over
For
the
the
place.
first time I've seen, I think we'll get onto it, I've seen United fans actually having a go at Ten Hag.
Yeah, I was one of them.
Yeah, like I think you said something about his press or something.
So he has to take responsibility because there's a couple of issues that he can fix in this current squad, and injuries and all can play into it. But he has to take some responsibility for certain things. Our build-up structure for a start, it isn't effective at all. We signed Andre Onana, one of the best goalkeepers. Say what you want about him, as a shot stopper and an overall goalkeeper, whatever. But his on-the-ball abilities are
you can't deny
they're
that.
unquestioned.
He's very
Yeah,
good, yeah.
he's basically an extra outfielder and so important for every team he's ever been in build-up. And we're getting him to kick long. To who? Rashford's not going to win a header. Anthony's not going to win a header. Hoyland is the only outlet up there. You can play it too. I'm just going to play it direct every time where he's being marked by two centre halves. It's not effective at all. When we do build out, the other night we were playing out with Maguire and Varane, and then Bruno came and sat as a single or as Amrabat, and we're not putting enough men in the first phase to outnumber the opposition press. So we can't it doesn't work. We can't build through it. And that's where he has to take some responsibility because that's not good enough. When we press, the fullbacks don't push up. So it's basically always a half press. Because you'll see, like when teams push, a lot of it comes from fullbacks pushing wingers. And we don't press as a unit. It's still a little bit...
It's disjointed.
It is all a bit disjointed, and I think he's still in what I was saying last week of we're trying to be this possessional-based team. We're also trying to be this transition-based team. We're just in a bit of a mess right now, but there are certain things that, regardless of the injuries and how we're playing, there are certain things he needs to fix, and he's not fixing them yet. But I'm that's not me. Ten Hag out or whatever. Still have full trust in him, but these are things I need to see improve. Yeah. Moving on though, because I'm done talking about Man United. We will talk to the big boys, Borussia Dortmund versus Newcastle.
Oh, I thought it was talking about Leicester.
Okay,
No,
you win 4-0 the weekend or something?
Beat Sunderland, to be fair.
We won
Respect.
3-1 at the weekend, then won 1-0 on Tuesday.
Nice one.
Against who?
Sunderland on Tuesday.
And 3-1
3
against.
Swansea.
Yeah, well, Ipswich. Oh, they drew last night, didn't they? Against
No, they beat
No,
Bristol.
Preston drew with Southampton.
Preston drew with
Zulu
Southampton.
scored.
Ipswich beat Bristol 1-0.
It was the
I know.
most own goal.
But we've
funny though.
now got 14 points clear of second, which is Leeds, who conceded in the 96th.
Second or third?
Third, sorry, third.
Yeah, sure, man.
Yeah. So okay, we'll go to the other team. Dortmund. Talk to us. Not
Did you watch
Bournemouth.
the game?
Dortmund.
I did watch the game, yeah. I think.
Oh, I watched that game.
Did you?
I watched
I
it.
actually watched
I-
this week.
yeah, I watched
What
it.
did you,
Nice.
what did you watch?
Yeah, PSG Hastings.
Oh.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Good game.
From what obviously I've heard and spoke to.
I think we should have
obviously-
gone to Thomas
Yeah,
first.
maybe.
Yeah, why have we gone to me?
Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry.
should
You were
Dortmund
the-
down,
you were- yeah,
you
we're the
big
Dortmund down. You're
phony.
repping the boys.
Yeah, I
Come
can
on.
still talk.
Phone.
I'll
Anyway,
go.
yeah.
I'll go.
Okay, you
And
speak
Turner
so
just
obviously
kicked off
from
a
Dortmund.
And
now.
living with
Hello.
living with Will, who is a correspondent for the Bundesliga. That's Dortmund's best performance they've had all season, which is
Oh,
obviously
really?
not.
Said a
yeah.
lot.
They've been good this
Yeah.
season now.
They've won games, but they've not played like that.
Man United syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah. My man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
Yeah,
I think
come on,
they
Rob.
attack well,
Come
they
on.
defended well,
G.
and
Schlotterbeck was good, I heard.
yeah.
Oh, he was ridiculous.
The match was good.
They were all good. They
Yeah,
all,
Max
they all
scored,
put in like
didn't he?
7.5, 8
So good on the
performances. They were
transition.
Rather
ridiculous.
late,
So
yeah.
Marlon's really good, by the way. As
Oh,
well.
he
Well, Donny.
bummed Trippier
Yeah.
and Lascelles
He just
and
then-
Burn.
He thinks if he beats someone, he shoots.
Yeah, literally.
That's
yeah.
Marlon's rule. If he beats someone, he has to shoot.
I love it.
He should have
Oh,
scored about a
Marlon
hat trick
Yeah.
in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I think wingers should do that, or attackers in general.
Yeah, it's
Well,
true.
Shoot on sight. See,
Yeah,
if you
love
get
it.
an eye goal, shoot
Shoot, mate.
every time. Just make sure it's on target though. That's
Yeah,
that's the
head
bare
over the
minimum.
ball,
Bare
lads.
minimum as a professional footballer who plays in the attack, it's
Yep.
getting on target. But anyway, yeah, Newcastle point
From
of view.
our perspective, just frustrating. Really
Isaac
frustrating.
went off, didn't help either, did
Oh
he?
yeah, that's when we sort of lost the game because Wilson plays like he's got jeans on. He's just outside the box when he has his back to goal.
Plays like
He's
in Timberland.
useless. He genuinely, I love him. He's a great goal scorer, but he's just useless outside the
I'm just
box.
thinking of Callum Wilson wearing jeans playing football.
It's exactly the same as he
All
plays
stiff.
football with shorts
Yeah,
on.
we
mate.
all say that with Michael Keane. He runs like he's in like Timberland boots or cowboy boots.
He's
or
wearing
something.
well, he's
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
We did get unlucky. We hit the bar a couple of times
Yeah.
late on, but ultimately, I don't think we did enough to
No,
win the
I
game.
agree,
Definitely, maybe
yeah.
draw, but not enough to win the game. We're very disjointed in midfield. It looked like even if it was a midfield that we played pretty much
Yeah.
whenever we can, didn't look like a midfield that I'd ever
Yeah.
played together before. In transition, we were so open. It was scary. Whenever they got the ball, I thought they were going to score.
Yeah, their game plan made sense. And
Yeah,
what
they were.
ran
They
for made
to
sense.
be fair to them, they sussed us out and
Yeah,
they
they did,
they
yeah.
did it perfectly. Like you have to respect it in a way.
Good coach, Terzic, he is.
I
Yeah.
think it was one of the ones where Dortmund would be incredibly naive to watch the PSG game and go, yeah, we're going to go to St James's Park and
Yeah.
and take it to them.
By the way, Fulkrug, he's the biggest bloke I've ever seen. He wins
massive, isn't he?
Yeah,
everything.
good,
He's
He's
a bit
good.
weird.
Like Lascelles is
I like
good
him.
at like aerial and strong battles, but he was just getting battered. It showed that Lascelles is probably not Champions League level. Controversial.
I think we
know.
knew that.
Yeah, controversial. I don't know.
It puts a lot of pressure on the reverse fixture in 3 weeks' time. Don't it?
We're still
2
in a
weeks'
decent
time.
position
Let's see
because
now.
Well, I
Milan.
don't know because if
Milan still haven't won.
You needed a draw.
Yeah,
there,
but if-
ideally.
yeah,
Yeah,
if
but
Dortmund
PSG winning did us a favour
if
anyway.
Dortmund
so
and
it's-
but if Dortmund and PSG win,
yeah, we're not. I think Europa
Tennis.
League qualification
Well,
is
yeah.
still pretty good.
Oh,
to be
yeah.
fair.
Let me ask you a question that
Of
was
course,
asked to
but-
Lewis Bowden. You know,
Oh,
top
for
ball
God's
last
sake!
night.
Yeah, Lewis Bowden.
would you
Newcastle
take-
fan.
he makes me angry.
So he, yeah, I know. So he said that he would rather have quarterfinal of the Champions League over winning the Europa League.
Oh, so
Thomas,
he's a Mong. Oh, so he's an idiot.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's what he said
Th-
last night.
so he's an idiot. Yeah, I'd much rather win the Europa League than go to the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
yeah, surely, yeah.
Obviously.
I'd rather win the Carabao Cup than get the
Why are we
quarterfinal of the
talking
Champions
about
League.
I'd rather win
I'd rather win the
literally
Community Shield. Than
Papa John's. Give me that.
What's the point of getting the
I'll take it.
quarterfinal of the
Yeah.
Champions League? What's the point?
What's the point?
What's the point?
No one remembers that.
What's the point?
No one remembers that. Semi-finals, no, still no.
No.
Final, probably not even.
No, you're not getting.
If we don't win it, I don't care.
No, I
like,
think I'd rather be in the
I-
final.
No, you'd rather be- no,
that's
yeah.
no,
where
but
it is.
winning
no.
something is pretty like big. Because
It
we could
is.
get to the final of the Champions League, lose it, and
No,
then finish sixth in the Premier League and not get Champions League.
Liverpool
and then win
could,
the Europa
Liverpool
League.
could
get
finish
Champions League.
above you and win the Europa League, but if you finished below them and got to the final of the Champions League, I think people would say you had a better season.
Yeah.
They would.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
So
but
that's what I
that's-
mean about
yeah.
getting to
Yeah.
the final.
But no,
is a
but
big
that
thing.
that question is the most ridiculous answer I've ever heard. Who?
Oh no, it's crazy. And it's like talking about this is where the big boys play in Europa League's the second tier. It's probably about winning and stuff.
It's not
Yeah.
because
I
Yeah,
think
and
we
getting
went
the
down to
quarterfinals.
Europa
that
League,
sounds
we won't
like
win
he
it.
thinks
We won't
if
win it
you,
if we went
that
down.
sounds like he's thinking if you got into the Europa League you'd walk it.
No, we
He
wouldn't.
thinks it. Yeah,
That's what.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
No
what
way
he.
we'd
Yeah, I
walk
know.
it.
I know you wouldn't. That's what he sounds
Because
like. He
teams
thinks.
that always drop down from the Champions League seem to always get a really tough draw in like the first game back, like first game.
Yeah,
in the Europa
Barcelona
League.
got us.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause you have
exactly.
to play the
16,
you have
or
to
the
play
round
the
of 32.
qualifier.
I
don't
think
you?
if we got out of
Yeah,
that,
you
You
play
play the round of 32
and the
qualifier,
group
yeah.
winners of Europa League.
I think it would finish us off.
Shafted by that last year. That's
Because
big up
we've been
Barca
playing,
32.
we've been playing because like with the Champions League, you have one week, then you have a week off, and then you have another game until like the semi-finals or quarter-finals. Europa League is every
Thursday.
week, every
Thursday
week
is-
it would do us in. We'd just
Yeah.
be finished,
Thursday's
especially with the amount of
terrible.
injuries we've got. Tonali now out for the best part of a year. Murphy's now out. Isak's out. Anderson's out.
How long's
Isaac
Isaac
gotta
out
take-
for? Do you know?
Who?
Isaac.
He's not supposed to be back before the next international break. So
Which
that's
is
like he's
in a
missing like
couple of
5 games. He's missing this weekend, you in the cup next week,
Oh, nice.
Bournemouth, Arsenal, and Dortmund.
Are you going to that game, by the way?
I'm going to Arsenal. Yeah.
Are you going to United at Old Trafford?
No.
Oh, I am. Fake fan.
Oh no. I think we'll beat you.
Meg's going to come with me. He can sit beside me. There was a free seat beside me the other night. Yeah.
I would go, but I couldn't sit in the home end. I just
Couldn't
Couldn't
sit in
do it.
my third tier Sir Alex Ferguson stand. Lovely view though. No, is there anything else you want to touch on? I can't think of anything.
Is anything actually?
Grimsby Town.
Oh, I saw a goal that you
sorry.
scored, but it was like an own goal.
Do you know what, mate? We lost that game.
Yeah. Was it 3-2?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
lost
Was it
3-2
Colchester,
twice
yeah?
in a row. Yeah, they are absolutely shocking. Paul Hurst, thank you so much for the memories, but it's time to go.
Manager.
Aw.
Yeah. It's a
What about the
shame.
goalie? I heard you having a go at him on Twitter.
I didn't have a go. Well,
Not a go at him. You just,
Never
you
go-
just
Part
asked him
of
for
it-
him to be replaced.
part of it is because one of my mates is sat on a bench. Doesn't
I
help.
see.
Oh,
Bit
okay.
biased, but he does need. We've got 2 first-team keepers for a reason. It's not common for a League Two team. Most League
That
Two
is mad,
teams
yeah.
have a starting keeper and a
A
youth
40-year-old.
and a
Or
40
yeah.
yeah, we have 3. But we've got 2 rivaling for. Harvey was on loan in League One last season twice, 2 League
Yeah.
One loans. You can't get a game, so I just think change the keeper, change the manager, start winning some games, win on Saturday, or I'm gonna not be held
Who you
responsible
playing?
for my actions. Donny away.
Are they bad? I don't know.
They lost 2-0.
They are
They lost
bad.
3-0 to Salford.
They're bad.
on
We're
Tuesday.
bad.
Where are
They're
you in the
bad.
league?
20th.
Is that out? That's
Do you know
no,
any
that's
relegation
outside.
zone?
Yeah, that's outside.
Don't-
It's
don't-
only
don't-
two
don't-
forward.
It's
We're
only
never
two.
going. We'll still finish top half. We've
Yeah.
just been on a shocking run.
Yeah.
But yeah, won't bore you all to death with the details. But
You should get Matt Smith.
What? That's striker.
Scored a hat-trick the other night.
Is that the
He's a
massive
Salford,
striker?
yeah.
he's that terrible one that just seems to score. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
Against
Yeah.
Grimsby. Oh, hat-tricks only.
You can take
Yeah, only scored
Lennon John
hat-tricks.
Lewis if you want. He's not scoring for York.
Oh, Jamal Lewis?
No.
I don't even
He,
play.
he actually played the other day. Can you believe it? He played for Watford and they actually won and kept
Nice
clean
jam.
sheet.
Yeah, he's
Unbelievable.
okay against San Marino, but it is San Marino. I think I'd be alright against
If
San
he's
Marino.
not good against San Marino, then that's pretty bad.
Then you're not.
If you're not good against San Marino, go
footballer.
back to uni. Do you know what I mean?
Going to uni.
I think Jamal Lewis is the most uni odd person I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
No, man met. He's a man met
He
type
does
bloke.
prison, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's our
Probably
next
not.
series.
He does
which is-
space, doesn't he?
Our next
Yeah, yeah.
series is just pairing up a footballer with a uni. So
I've
Yeah.
never
Jamal
never
Lewis
seen
did man
Jamal
that.
Lewis do an interview.
I'm
I'm thinking of it now because loads of non-Irish players will do interviews, right? And I've never
I've
seen
seen
him
it.
do an interview.
I probably forgot if he had.
Yeah, but so
Probably
that makes him so uni. Because uni guys never do interviews.
was. Yeah.
Unless you play for the UCFP Force. So.
What a riveting way to end the podcast.
Yeah.
Has
but,
Jamal Lewis done a press conference?
Let us know
Can he
if you've
speak
ever done an
English?
interview.
we are going to shout out a couple of people that commented on the last video because we are kind of appreciating that we get comments and interactions on on these videos. So
It's a
we
reality.
had Nightmare El Drago. All right, Ivan. So he said, I'd not put Courtois in the top 5 based on last season. I watched every Madrid game. He is not as good as Ter Stegen or Edison,
Weird flex.
let alone Alisson.
I agree he's not as good as Ter Stegen. Ter Stegen's really good though, but I don't
Yeah.
think that means Courtois is not top 10.
He's definitely top. Well, he said top 5. He's definitely top 5.
Oh, did he say top 5? Oh, sorry.
He's definitely top
I'd say
5.
5th maybe. I think
He
I'm
said he
in
wasn't
two,
top
aren't
5.
If we're going off just off last season, well, he's obviously top 5.
I? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for everyone that replied and liked.
Say it. I thought it was
We've
more.
got 7
Well,
comments,
he-
lad.
Yeah, but
Was that the only contextual
lads?
one?
Are we shouting out to people that said
Oh,
love
of
it?
Other one, someone
Yes,
said
we
they
shouted
loved
to
it.
They had an
idiot.
argument as well under that one, didn't it?
Well, just said someone Sparkasm.
What?
Sparkasm said Courtois is just a way of rival Prem in France to not call Alisson the best in the world. Really doubt if
Good
any of
point.
them watch Madrid week in week out. And then he replied with, "Why are we reading our comments? They can read this themselves."
Oh.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's the
Okay,
end of the podcast
bye.
this week. Jamie doesn't like any
Jamie's
of you.
giving up.
He's really mardy for some reason. We're going to win now.
We're gonna go classic football.
Thank you for
shirts.
watching the
Make
Follow
sure-
podcast. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. I'm off to buy something from the 25 and under rack at Classic Football Shirts. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.